Hey everyone, it's Ian here, also known as WHITEROBOT, and today what I want to do is talk through as much as I can about everything that GoMining do. So I have been investing in GoMining now for almost a year. I started investing in around March 2024, and it is now January 2025. A lot has happened during that time frame. But I would definitely say that GoMining has been by far the best investment I've ever made in crypto, and I've really enjoyed being part of the community and just learning more about Bitcoin. And now I did a video similar to this when I first started investing in this. Now we are quite a good length of time in. And like I said, it's been a real successful journey for me. So I want to sort of treat this as a video that's useful for people that are new to this, but also to serve as a bit of an update as to how it's been going for me, but also changes to the GoMining service, because things have changed so much along the time. They're continually sort of innovating and including stuff that just makes it, a lot more interesting and a stronger company and a stronger investment as time goes on. So where to start? I think probably the best place is to start by talking through how you can initially start earning Bitcoin. And that's by purchasing one of their miners. So with traditional mining, you would essentially do it through your computer, or you would buy, special equipment. And, when Bitcoin first came out, that was a feasible option that you could do it from home. But now, because, network difficulty has increased and there's so much competition, trying to mine at home, it's just not feasible. At least it's not feasible for most unless you have like free or cheap electricity. But as an alternative, I personally believe that the future of Bitcoin mining is services like this, where there are these data centers that essentially allow you to purchase a portion of their hash rate. So that's exactly what GoMining are doing. Through their website and platform, you can purchase an NFT that represents a portion of their hash rate. So you're buying liquid hash rate, and you can choose to upgrade it and increase it and so on. So it's a really good way of mining Bitcoin and generating a passive income through crypto. So first of all, you would want to purchase your very first NFT. I've already got one, so it's difficult to show you how to initially start up. But what you would do is you would go through the sign up process. You get a trial miner, which is free, so you can get a feel for how that would work. And then you would need to buy your very first miner. Now, how that looks should be similar to when I press this create a miner. So it should look similar to this. So there's two different things that you need to look at initially when creating your first miner. There is the computing power, so the actual hash rate. This is, I would say, the most important thing. The more hash rate you have, the better. So you can see, you can obviously start with 1 terahash, which at the time of recording this is like $28. And as you buy more, that price goes down. I think starting with 1 TH is a little bit too low. You'd probably want more to make it a worthwhile investment. But yeah, so there's essentially the actual power. These level things, I don't think that really matters. It's just a nice thing that they've added, but the primary thing that you're interested in is the actual power. So that's one thing, and obviously as you add more, the price of this increases, but also the price per terahash reduces as well. And then the second thing is the energy efficiency. So you can see when you're minting a new one, they're only giving you two options here. There is the 20 watt and the 15 watt. At the time of recording this, and things change a lot in this space, but at the time of recording this, 15 watt is the most efficient. But in terms of return on investment, 20 watt is the better option right here, right now. And why that is because 15 watt is new, therefore you're paying quite a high price per terahash. So something else I think is worth knowing is that 1 TH, regardless of efficiency, mines the same amount of Bitcoin. But where efficiency comes in is that the efficiency determines how much it costs to run that power. So a 15 watt is going to be cheaper to run than a 20 watt. But like I said, because of the price that you're paying per terahash is so drastically different, the actual ROI, or your return on investment on the 20 watt, is actually better. It's always worth paying attention to those numbers. So you would choose how much computing power you want, the efficiency, and then you would go down here and click next. This part here will give you some estimates, and I want to stress that they are estimates. So you can see here, you can get a feel for how much you might make per terahash, or for the amount that you've chosen. And you can change what BTC price is at, and you can see estimates. So this is what Bitcoin's currently at. I believe that in 6 months to a year, it'll probably be around this sort of price. So you can see by buying 20 watt, the actual ROI based on this, using the 20% maintenance, and I'll talk through that shortly, is a really nice return. You know, that's not far off 100% of your money back within the space of a year, which is pretty insane that you can get your money back in such a short time frame. So like I said, you can change the price of Bitcoin here so that you can get a feel for, you know, roughly how much you might get per year. And you can also change the tab so that you are paying with the maintenance with GoMining, or you're choosing to just have it paid with the Bitcoin that you mine. So each day, so how it works is that each day, if you're in solo mode, your miner basically just sits there, and then after the 24 hours, so each morning, you will then receive your daily Bitcoin. And if you are choosing to have the fees deducted from your Bitcoin, so you don't need to pay anything out, you just buy the NFT, leave it sat there, and if you choose to have the electricity and the service fees paid with Bitcoin, then these are the rewards that you would get, assuming that Bitcoin is this price. I really want to stress this is just an estimate because there are a lot of factors involved in this price. It's worth spending some time learning about things like mempool, network difficulty, so that you have an understanding of how these things change, because this is only a rough number. Based on, you know, basically based on what happened yesterday. I am rambling so much. Anyway, I shall continue. So, yeah, so this will give you an idea of how much you are getting. And like I said, if you want to pay with GoMining, you can. So how it works is that you can get up to 20% discount on the maintenance fees, but in order to get that discount, you need to hold 360 days worth of maintenance costs, which is a lot of money, especially if you have a high amount of power. That can be a GoMining token that you hold within the token locking, and I can talk through that a little bit later on in this video, or you can just have it in your account. Note that if you do have the amount locked, you still need to have enough in your actual virtual wallet to cover those fees in order to get that full 20%. But you can see with the discount and without the discount, you obviously make more money by having that discount. So it might be worth deciding that. That's entirely up to you. I personally prefer to have more power over paying for that discount. But that's just personal preference. So like I said, you choose your computing power, your efficiency, and then next, and then follow those steps. To actually pay for the miner, you do need to pay with what's called GoMining token. And I will go through these steps now so that you can see. So you can obviously pay by card, and you can use one of these services if you want. So Mercurio, I don't think that works in the UK. I'm not sure. So I know some of these, not everything works in every country because of certain crypto laws. But yes, you can pay with card, or you can pay with crypto. The actual cheapest way of doing it is to buy the GoMining token externally. So how I do it is that I would buy BNB. So on Binance Smart Chain, and you can buy that through websites like Binance, or you can go through MoonPay. So buy BNB, then go to a website like PancakeSwap and swap that currency over to GoMining token, and then you can pay, via this method, and that's a little bit cheaper than paying with card. It does differ globally. But as far as I'm aware, that's the cheapest way of doing it. There are promo codes. So if you look in the description of this video, there is a code that you can use, and that will give you 5% cash back on your first purchase. And by doing it in that way, you are also supporting me as well, because I basically get a commission from you using my affiliate link, essentially. So that's how you buy your first miner. So what I would recommend to do is, when you're new to this and you don't already own a miner, you don't have access to the marketplace. So if you are planning to invest quite a lot in this, just buy 1 TH so that you can access the market, because in general, unless you're only spending a small amount of money, in general, you can get cheaper prices on the marketplace. So that's one thing. So that's how you buy your first miner. So now we have this marketplace, and I know this is probably going to be really confusing to new people because there is so much to take in, but hopefully my rambling will still help you with this. So over the years, GoMining have released different collections. And you can see here, if you go to this collection drop down, there are all these different collections here, like this East collection, North collection, South, Golden Box, Gift Box. So that you are aware, apart from the greedy machines, they are all the same functionality. The only difference is they are images. So if you don't care about the images, and in general, I don't really care too much about the images. I am more interested in the actual power and making a passive income from this. But there are certain collections that are worth more than others. And at some point, there might be abilities added to each collection for Miner Wars. So that might be worth considering. Like I've personally tried to collect one from every collection for that reason. But when you're starting out, all you're really interested in is the actual power and the efficiency of what you're purchasing. So that's all these collections. I mentioned about the greedy machines. I want to spend a little bit of time talking about those. So greedy machines were the very first collection that was made available to people interested in mining Bitcoin with GoMining. And one of the benefits of this first and second collection, both called the greedy machines, there's only 5,000 of them. These are wired into the tokenomics of GoMining. And essentially what I mean by that is that they get free power every week. So owning a greedy machine is worth doing, although at the time of recording this, they don't get much of an upgrade anymore. And why that is because in terms of that token break, that growth, it comes from the governments of the token and the voting. And a few months ago, a new feature called Miner Wars came out, and the votes shifted from the upgrades on the greedy machine to Miner Wars. So at the time of recording this, they only get like a 0.06% growth. So if you are interested in buying one of these, make sure that you get it at a really good price, or it's not really worth it. And what I mean by a good price, it's worth filtering from sort of TH price low to high, and then sort of base your choice on that. Because I mean, if you're planning to hold this for a long period of time, it might be worth investing in a greedy machine, especially if you're planning to invest quite a lot of money. So I think it's worth talking through a few different things on each of these items, because there's lots of labels and lots of different things going on here, and I know it can be confusing if this is new to you. So you can see what I did then. I've filtered by collection and I've sorted by terahash price low to high, and now I've got the cheapest option here per terahash. So this miner here, I can tell that this particular miner is 1,147 terahash. It's a 28 watt per terahash machine, and this gives you a rough idea of the ROI based on Bitcoin's current price. These little badges over on the right hand side, this is something added literally in the last couple of weeks, but with your miners you can basically earn these little badges on them that can be collected. It's purely cosmetic. These two here, they were one was for Christmas, one was for New Year, and if you purchased upgrades in those times, you got that extra little badge. So there's quite a few of these little badges that are being added on. Then there's obviously the image. It is purely just a static image. You can't change it once you buy it. You know, that's how your miner looks essentially. There is the number. That's just like the NFT's number. This one's from the greedy collection, and where it says ETH here, it doesn't mean it mines ETH. That just means that this particular NFT is minted on the Ethereum blockchain. You will see some also with Binance Smart Chain and Ton as well. This bottom part is the price. So this is the price in GoMining token. This is that price in dollars. And this here is the price per terahash. So hopefully that all makes sense. There's obviously all these other filters. So you can filter by efficiency, by power, achievements, and so on. I think something that's worth pointing out is that when we initially minted a miner, there was only two options available to you. There was 20 watt and 15 watt. But you will notice there are miners available that go down to 50 watt. And it's worth being aware that anything that's sort of 29 watt and above, so between 29 and 50 watt, you have to upgrade the efficiency before you can upgrade the power on those. So that's something to be aware of. As an investor, I have personally actually bought quite a lot of 35 watt. And the reason for that is because the actual return on investment on those has been better, but it is a risk because if Bitcoin was to go down in price, they can earn 0. If GoMining increased the electricity cost, they can go down to 0. But right here, right now, I was able to buy that 35 watt at a very good price per terahash. And if Bitcoin goes up to 100k and above, those ones at the price that I purchased them for, they have an amazing ROI. We're talking like 100% plus, 200% plus ROI on those. So it's worth looking at it in that way, that although 15 watt is the most efficient and the running costs on 15 watt is really good, it's really down to the price that you are paying. If you can get a good price on 28 watts, so 28 watt in this particular case, this has a better ROI here than this 28 watt than this 25 watt down here. You can see the ROI on this is 52.4%. So it's worth considering stuff like that. It's all with the ROI on the actual main marketplace. You do have to bear in mind that it's showing you with the maintenance, so it's worth popping in and just seeing, especially if you're paying for the fees with Bitcoin, just double checking what that is with Bitcoin. And checking it at different price points, because at the end of the day, ROI is what you really need to focus on. And if you can get cheap, if you can get a cheap 35 watt, it's worth buying. You just need to be aware of those risks involved. Things like 20 watt, 15 watt, that is obviously a safe option because that will still be mining Bitcoin even if Bitcoin price drops. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a bit of an overview on the marketplace. Like I said, there's lots of filters, so you can filter from price to low. You can put in, price brackets. So if you've only got like, 5,000 GMT, you can put that in, and then you can filter from low to high, and it will show you the cheapest option with your particular budget. And again, you can say, that you only want to see 20 watt and above. And that will give you a good that's a really good way of being able to find something that's good for you and that's affordable. In terms of knowing what is a good price, which is often a good question, how I do it is that I double check how much it costs to buy a new machine, and then I compare that with what's on the market, and I will buy whatever is cheapest. I also think it's worth buying smaller machines and having lots of smaller machines over having one really big one. Where I would say a large machine is worth having is that it becomes cheaper to upgrade it, But if you ever want to sell your miner at a later date, it's going to be near impossible or very, very difficult to get a good price for a 5,000 TH miner over, like a 10 TH miner. So what I'm doing is every cycle. So I'm in miner wars, and I'll show you that shortly. Every Tuesday, I use my rewards and I usually buy a new miner, like a smallish miner, rather than upgrading one. And that allows me to, generally get a better price because I'm buying it weekly and I have a nice amount to spend. But also, should I ever want to sell my farm or a portion of my farm, it becomes a lot easier to do that. Okay, so I think it's worth now talking about the two different ways that you can earn through GoMining. So there's two different modes that you can be in. There is what's called solo mode. And with solo mode, you are basically getting your share of the Bitcoin rewards from the actual real life pool. And that is the most stable rewards that you can get in GoMining. You will receive that daily. And providing that you meet that threshold daily, that Bitcoin can go directly to your personal wallet. So that's one of the easiest way to do it. But I think the most fun and most interesting thing in the project is what's called Miner Wars. And this is something that was introduced a few months ago. It used to be pool mode, and now there is Miner Wars. And I do have a separate video on this from when this came out, and it hasn't changed drastically. But essentially how it works is that you join a clan, and every time that clan hits a block, you get a share of those blocks. So you can see the clan that I'm in, they've hit all of these blocks today. So we're having a really good few days. So how it works is when your clan hits those blocks, you receive your share of that based on your power. So it's there's a lot of different strategies to this. You can be in a large pool, which will hit lots of blocks, but you only get a tiny share of it. Or you can be in a small pool, get a decent share of each block, but then the odds of actually hitting a block is very low. But when you do hit one, it's you obviously get more from it. So that's what the Bitcoin. But one of the extra things in Miner Wars and why I prefer it, especially at the amount of TH that I have, if you hit a personal block, you get that in GoMining token, and that's something that you don't get in solo mode. And it's often quite a lot of money. Like you can see in the last cycle, one block was 263 GoMining token, and that's around $130 roughly at the time of recording this. And I hit 5. So that was a nice amount of money just in terms of GoMining token, and you get the Bitcoin. So for me, I'm getting much better rewards in Miner Wars because of the personal blocks primarily. It is luck based. Like I said, with solo mode, you are getting your share of the actual Bitcoin the real life pool hits. But in Miner Wars, you are sacrificing your rewards, kind of putting it into a pot, and you're competing for it. And in order to compete for it, there's like these boosts that people can use, and all that boost money goes into a pot as well, and then gets shared between everyone. So one block is, hang on, I'll show you. If you go to the leaderboard, you can see so far in cycle 72, there's been 733 blocks mined. That's how much Bitcoin there is so far. And this is how much GoMining token there is so far. And you can do some maths. You can roughly work it out, how much GoMining token each person will have. It makes more sense to calculate at the end of the cycle, so you get a more accurate number. But that's basically how it works. Like I said, I have done a whole video on this, so I won't go into too much detail. I think something I didn't share in the previous video was boosting, or at least because it was new and I didn't understand it in the same way that I do now, so I'll quickly share that now. So what I would do with boosting is wait until the round starts before you boost. Because boosting this late into a round is, I personally think, is a waste of money. Because people's farms, the amount of score and so on has grown so much that trying to catch up with it is a waste of time, and it's quite likely that this round will end at some point soon. So I would wait until the beginning. Now, I would put these into two different categories. These two on the left are rockets. So this is either 1 rocket or 10 rockets, basically. And then this one is a score boost. What I found to be the most effective way to play this is to use the score boost as soon as you can. So as soon as the round starts, depending on your budget, press the score boost. I've sometimes used quite a lot of budget, so sometimes I might press this like 20 times and use 20 GMT. And if you do that fast enough and it's a short round, you can end the round having like 25-30% all on your own, because you boosted your score so high above everyone else at a rapid rate, and you have a high probability of winning. And then once you've got that score high enough, then stabilize it by using rockets. So what I mean by stabilizing is that you will boost this and you get this to like 10%, well, 5%, 10%, 20%, whatever. And then if you want to retain that, your farm needs to be growing at a reasonable pace to maintain that percentage. So it's then worth using rockets to sort of maintain that. So what I usually do is maybe use like 10 score boosts and then a couple of these, and then you sort of hold a nice percentage throughout the round. With score boost is momentary, so you click it once, you add to the score. It doesn't change the speed that the score increases. Only power increases this score. So score boost is really good for short rounds, and rockets are really good for long rounds. So it's good to sort of do a mixture of the both. So both. So like I said, I would do score boost, and then I would stabilize for rockets. Like I said, if you want to learn more about this, go and check out my video on that. So that's Miner Wars covered. In terms of other services, there is their governance, and this is to do with the GoMining token. So how it works is with the tokenomics, they have a cycle that happens each week. And then at the end of the cycle, there's certain things that happen with the newly minted token, and 10% of that gets distributed between these things. So the solo discount, the miner wars price pool, the greedy machine power increase, and the liquidity bonus. And by locking, you can vote. I would stress that unless you are adding in hundreds of thousands of dollars, your vote doesn't really do much. But that's there. And you can see here how this money has been distributed each cycle. Now, actually locking the token, how it works is that you will need to have GoMining token on your own external wallet. It needs to be in Ethereum, and you will also need Ethereum in order to pay gas fees to actually lock this. So one of the best ways of doing this is to, or rather one of the cheapest ways of doing this is to buy GoMining token, put it on your virtual wallet in GoMining. And how you would do that is to top up your wallet in this, and then withdraw it to Ethereum, which is it's a free withdrawal, and then to use that accordingly. And like I said, you would need Ethereum to pay the gas fees. Because of the gas fees on Ethereum, I wouldn't lock less than like $100. I would make sure that you're locking a fairly substantial amount of money in order for it to be really worth it. But that's an option, and by locking, you get rewards each cycle. So I get like 15 GoMining token every week, and I've got a couple of thousand locked up in there for 4 years. So I'm crossing my fingers that the token value increases throughout that time, and I make a load of money from it. And I think I really do believe that will be a high probability. So there's a whole load of stuff on here. I won't go into it too much more on that, but just more that's an option. And then there's also the liquidity. And with the liquidity, what you are doing is you are providing a token pair, so that when people swap USDT to GoMining token, you will receive a commission from that exchange. So what you are doing is you are adding liquidity to this, so that when people swap, the money is there to be used, and you get a commission from that. So that's a really nice way of making money. Again, I won't show you the in and outs of doing this on this video, but what you will need in order to do this is an equal amount in US dollar value of USTD on Binance Smart Chain and GoMining token on Binance Smart Chain. And you will also need some BNB to pay for the gas fees. You'll need that on your own external wallet, and then you connect your wallet and follow the steps accordingly. So I think I've covered pretty much most of the basics of this. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, it's been nearly a year. We're I'd say like 9-10 months that I've been in this project, and I've done really well from it. So you can see, I think when I did my last video, I was only on a couple of hundred TH. Now I'm on like 1500. I will need to downscale a little bit this month to cover some costs on some bits and pieces, but I've had a really successful year. In terms of that growth, how I've really done it is primarily through reinvesting. So everything that I've earned from this, I've reinvested back into power. You know, pretty much everything. I haven't cashed out anything. Obviously, the more you have, the more you make, and the more you make, the more you can grow. So there's a benefit to having a large amount of power as early as you can. I've been really fortunate throughout the last year to have won quite a lot of things within the project. So one of the main ones was to suggest an idea, and if the idea got voted upon and won, then you would receive a key. And my suggestion won. And I received a key. I managed to get one of their Go miners. So one of their sorry, this is going slow. I managed to get one of their NFTs, so I got one of these cryptolites, and I sold it for $5,000. And why these sell around that price is because, I mean, first of all, there's a limited supply of them. So currently, at the time of recording this, there's three different Go miners so far, and there's only 100 of each of them. So they are limited in that sense. But then they also get a lot of benefits to them. So each one of these has a different benefit. Like this one presses the service button automatically each day. This one gives you an extra watt of efficiency, and this one gives you a discount on boosting. So if you are somebody that's investing in a lot of money, and there are people in here that have invested in hundreds of thousands of pounds, spending $5,000 to save, hundreds of thousands is worth doing. So there's a good market for these out there, and I got a key, and I rather than keeping it, it would have been nice to have kept it, but for me financially it made more sense to sell it and get more power. So that was really beneficial to me. But then also throughout the year, they've been very generous with prizes, competitions, things like Zeely Quest, Bounty Quest, and with a couple of those things, I've won. I've won a couple of those things. Also, with things like the bounty. So if you go into the Discord or Telegram community, something that they started for the 4th epoch, currently on pause, but should be commencing soon, because they're making some upgrades to it. The bounty allowed you to basically do simple tasks, and in exchange you got points, and the more points you got, you would then receive a certain amount of Go mining token at the end of that week. I'm self-employed, so I made it one of my tasks to do absolutely everything that they needed for that. And that was very successful for me. I was always in the top 5 each week, and with that I got between $50 and $100 per week, basically, from that, all for free. There's not really any excuse to not grow with Go mining. There's so many sort of options like that. There's tools out there like Ember, and I'll put a link to that in my profile as well. Ember is an application where you can press a button each day, and at the end of the month you can cash it out, and usually it's enough money to buy an extra TH. I've also done things like on the marketplace. I've really got to know the product well, and if I ever see anything listed cheap, I will buy it and I will resell it. And this helps me to speed up my growth. If I can buy A few months ago, you could get 35-watt miners for like $7 to $8 per TH. Now they are selling for like 10, well, more like $11 to $15. So things like that, I'm reselling them. So there's so many ways that you can make money from this, and I'm kind of trying to use everything to get as much power as I can, as quickly as I can, so that I never need to work again. Because, how I see it is that if you can invest 2 years worth of salary into this, you never need to work again. And that's what I'm trying to do. So, I worked really hard last year to, save as much money as I can. I haven't really done any holidays. I've been eating cheap. I'm doing everything that I can to save as much money as I can, and taking up every opportunity I can to make money to put into this. And if GoMining do competitions, I enter them. If they do things like want ideas and you get a prize, I will suggest as many ideas as I can. But I'm just taking every opportunity I can to grow as fast as I can in whatever way possible, and I will continue to do that until I never need to work again. I think it is worth stressing that in order to really succeed with this, you need to get the power as cheap as you can. You need to have an understanding that difficulty will increase. So network difficulty will increase, probably for all eternity. So there will become a time when even 20 watts won't really mine anything or won't be profitable anymore. So in terms of it being like passive income for life in the way that I described it then, that's not really realistic. But what I would like to do, or what my eventual aim is to get to a point where I have a large enough farm, so I'm generating a decent passive income that I can pretty much live off, but then there's also a little bit left over that I can continually reinvest back in. Because if you don't keep growing the farm and you don't keep improving the efficiency, there will become a time where your nice rewards become zero, essentially, because of the way that Bitcoin mining works. And you must be aware of that. You can't expect to buy a miner and receive Bitcoin for the rest of your life. That's an unrealistic expectation of this project. But if you invest wisely, if you are active in the community, you can get a lot of freebies. And if you really get to understand the market, buying and selling, you can make a lot of money with this. And like I said, it's been a really successful year for me. I know that if I took all of my miners and sold them all today, I would get out a lot more money than what I originally put in. So, so it's totally worth. It's worth investing in it. Like I said, it's been a real success for me, and I've had an amazing year, and I'm very, very excited for 2025 because Bitcoin's on a run. Donald Trump's just been bought. Donald Trump should be coming into presidency, and he's really bullish on Bitcoin, and will hopefully do all he can to get Bitcoin into the Federal Reserve, and hopefully, if Bitcoin increases substantially, every miner will be profitable right now. So, this at the time of recording this is a really, really good time to be buying Terahash, and hopefully it will be a very successful couple of years, a very profitable couple of years. So, buy as much as you can, and just keep growing and learn as much as you can from the community, learn as much as you can about Bitcoin, and hopefully you will have as much success as I have. So thank you for watching. So if you are planning to buy your first miner and you want to support me, please use my affiliate link, which is in the description. And by using that, you will get 5% cash back on your first miner, but it will also support everything that I'm doing with this as well, because I will also receive a commission from that referral as well. So thank you very much for watching. If you do have any questions, you can find me in the Discord server. I'm pretty active in there. It's Ian WHITEROBOT, and you can ask me or anyone else in their questions, and we would be more than happy to help. But hopefully this has been useful, and I wish you all the best for the year ahead.